Hey YouTube, this is Waffle, and I have a review on another game. It's called Atmosphir, spelled Atmosphir, and it's in its beta stage. Because it's closed beta, before you can download the game, you'll need to give them your email address, and then after about 2 weeks, after they verify everything, they'll send you the link to download. This game allows you to create your own 3D levels in a level editor, and then upload them so that other users can play them. The interface while you're making your level is very clean and simple, and very easy to get the hang of. So in the main menu you'll have some options. We're just going to go straight to design, because I want to show you the level editor, and how very clean and simple it is. Also, here's where the first con comes into play. The load times, even on a fast computer, can be pretty long. Just remember throughout the entire video that this is in closed beta. That means that they are working out many of the problems that you'll see. So here's the level editor. The majority of the screen shows a big 100 by 100 square grid. On this grid you place your blocks that you use to design your level. Different blocks do different things. So some of them can just act as simple ground, they can just be grass. Other ones you can move, other ones act as ladders, other ones can be elevators. So there's a lot of possibility. So here I've just placed some simple grass blocks. They just serve as ground, they don't really do much of anything else. Placing simple ground blocks is simpler than placing contraptions. Simple ground blocks, you just hold down the mouse and then wave the cursor and it'll go everywhere, so you can just hold it down. Whereas contraptions, you have to click every individual square that you would like to place it in. The reason for this is if there's too many contraptions in the level, it won't run well on people's computers. In the bottom left corner you see a low bar. Every time you place a contraption or an enemy or something, the bar goes up a little bit. You can't finish the level with the bar being past 100%. It won't let you do that. The camera controls in the designing interface, they work well. Sometimes they glitch up a little bit, but for all in all, they do work well. So here, as you can see now, I'm trying to place these crates and make them look like walls. Trimming the outside of odd-chord shapes takes a little bit of time. Thankfully, however, there is a copy and paste tool. So once you've trimmed the outside of the wall once, if you'd like to make the wall taller to prevent your avatar from jumping over it, you can do that just by spreading this red square over all the blocks that you want to copy, hitting copy, then raising levels like I did just now, and then pasting, thereby saving you a lot of time. The way these games become truly 3D is when you raise the level. You raise the grid. So say you have blocks on floor 10 like I did just now, and you raise the grid to 11, then you can place blocks on top of the blocks that are on floor 10. So when you raise grids, you can create full 3D structures. So if you want to create a building, that'd be pretty easy. So after you've placed a start and a finish flag, you can begin to test the actual game within the designer. So this is what the game looks like. It's a very cartoony setup. So even fighting enemies isn't like nothing. It's all really simple. That's the main thing. It's very, very simple. To attack, you just hold down whatever button you've mapped to it, and your character will continue just to like bitch slapping the opponent. And you can just run around in circles while you're doing that, and you kill most of the enemies. It's kind of enjoyable, but it's not the best. And like, there's no combo system with the combat or anything, but it's not an emphasis on combat, as there are lots of. However, what they did do for the combat is they put bombs, which you can use to break blocks. So if you pick up a bomb that someone has placed in their level, you can use that to fight enemies as well, and that makes it pretty fun. So along with bombs and enemies, you can place power-ups. These power-ups do various things. Some of them are just health power-ups, other ones are extra lives, other ones will make you run faster, other ones will make you jump higher. So you place those just like you would any other contraption. That means clicking everywhere you want to put it. So now let's test the level, now that we have enemies and some health power-ups. So this is what I meant by you can just kind of run around and bitch slap them. You can also jump and stomp on their heads, but it's all kind of the same. And it gets kind of redundant. But clearly this game isn't all centered around the combat. And again, it's all very cartoony and childish. The game also has a selection of music which you can choose to accompany your level. I'm sorry you can't hear it. I'm sure you'd rather hear that than me just talking, wouldn't you? On a side note, change the control scheme when you first download the game from beginner or whatever it's called to veteran, because veteran is a billion times. So now let's place some different kinds of blocks. We're gonna place some traps. Dun dun dun. So these traps take up that capacity bar, and we'll also place a door. Doors can either be locked or not, and if they're locked, then you must place a key somewhere so that it's openable. Once you've collected the key, you just walk up to the door and the door automatically unlocks. But you don't have the key anymore. Oh, what the hell, we'll place some water blocks too. These water blocks are actually recently added to the block list. They update this game pretty often, always adding new blocks and things, so it's good to check back. So now let's try out our ridiculous looking level and see how ridiculous it looks. Pretty ridiculous. Usually you don't want to be uploading levels like this. I'm just kind of making this for the sake of the video. But when you upload a level, just try and make it make sense. That's pretty important. Alright, so that's just to show some of the possibilities that you can do with this level. There are people who are really creative with it. And there are lots more blocks that I haven't shown you. Most of them work well. One of them that comes to mind in particular that doesn't work well is the rope bridge, as you can go through it. And I will show you that soon. Here, and if you open up level properties, you can edit the various objectives of the level and the background of the level if you don't like the blue sky background, which is the only one they have currently. You can make it any color, but it's just the solid color, and you can also edit the fog and like the density of it. So like what color it is and how dense it is. So you can do a lot in this area. Or window, sorry. And the interface is still pretty smooth, so it's pretty easy to change the colors of everything and edit the number of diamonds that you have to collect, or the number of enemies you have to kill, or the time limit you have. It's all really easy to do.